The most important tourist spot on the island of Corfu or Kerkera is the incredibly charming capital, Corfu, located on the eastern side of the island. Created in the 8th century BC, the city changed under the influence of different cultures that ruled it, but Venice, which remained here for almost 400 years, left the biggest impression on its present appearance. Narrow streets paved with polished stone, huge squares in front of churches, stone staircases and balconies with wrought iron railings will make you think for a moment that you are in an Italian city. Every building, every street looks like an open-air museum, but the friendly hosts will assure you that the old town is full of life and surprises. It will be an unforgettable experience to spend hours and hours just walking up and down the many small cobbled streets, looking around to discover the secrets of the old town, and buying some gifts to bring home. You will visit Kerkera walking between tall old houses. You will buy traditional products in ancient cellars, surrounded by stone steps, old Venetian walls, and hidden gardens. Walking through the old town of Corfu, you can admire various buildings that are interesting from a historical, cultural, and architectural point of view. People of Corfu. Like all Greeks, they are a believing people. There are about 20 churches in the old town. Not far from Liston is the Church of Saint Spiridon, miracle worker, patron of the city and island of Corfu. In addition to the merits for the defense against the Turks, the people of Corfu attribute to Saint Spiridon the merits for saving the island from the plague. In honor of Saint Spiridon, the patron saint of the city and the island, Lisha is organized 4 times a year, and then his relics are spread around the city as a sign of gratitude for the miracles he performed. This church was built in 1590 and is a typical example of the church architecture of the Ionian Islands in Greece. The church has 2 different entrances on the side, one in St. Spiridon Street and the other in front of the small square, so the organ can be heard on all the roads in the area. The Church of Our Lady of the Stranger dates from the 18th century and is located in front of the Church of St. John. You can also admire the pediment of this church, which is very unpretentious and differs from the previous one in its bell tower and 3 naves instead of 1. The Church of St. John is another example of the architectural style of the Ionian Islands. From Teotoki Street, only the side part of the church, where the entrance is located, and the typical bell tower that stands out between the buildings can be seen. Along cobbled streets between ancient buildings, the road leads us to the romantic town of Liston and the unmissable Esplanade Square. Esplanade is a large green area between the city centre and the old fortress. In the southern part of the Esplanade there is a beautiful park, while in the northern part there are cricket grounds and the Museum of Asian Art, located in the Royal Palace, which represents a kind of architectural masterpiece. The famous Liston with its many arches is located on the west side of Esplanade Square. Liston with its beautiful gallery full of cafes and restaurants is today the heart of the day and night social life of the old town of Corfu. Here you can take a break with a coffee or lunch in one of the numerous cafes and restaurants. Due to the ancient English domination near the Esplanade, on the north side, there is also the Royal Palace of Corfu, also called the Palace of St. Michael and St. George. This palace, projected by Colonel G. Withmore, was realized with tufa of Malta between 1819 and 1824, and it's the only example of Georgian architecture in all Mediterranean. It was once used first by the English and then by the Greek royal family, and today it houses the Museum of Asian Art, the Historical Archives and the Administration for Classical Relics of Corfu. If you are here at dusk, we suggest an amazing walk that starts from St. George's Arch, next to the Royal Palace of Corfu. As you pass the large port, follow the road that leads along the sea, and it will take you to the entrance to the old town of Corfu. This route follows the ancient walls of Kerkera. You will have a wonderful sunset in front of you, and you will pass by historical buildings such as the Church of Panagia Antivonia Tissa, the Byzantine Museum, the Old Port and the ancient port of St. Nicholas. In front of the old harbour is the Church of Saint Spiliotisa, and Mitropolis got its name from the public square where it is located. For a further tour of the city, you can use city buses, the so-called blue buses, that depart from Tietoki Square and run from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. All parts of the city are well connected to the center, and the ticket price depends on the distance you travel. It will be cheaper if you buy the ticket at the machine instead of on the bus, and the most convenient is to buy a day ticket that costs €5. You can also use the hop-on hop-off buses that go around the city visiting the most important sites. The old fortress, which is also the symbol of the city, is a very interesting building. The fortress was built by the Byzantines in the 8th century to defend the city. A canal has been dug between the fortress and the city, giving the impression that it is on an island. The town is connected to the fortress by a 60-meter-long bridge, built by the English at the beginning of the 19th century. The fortress offers an impressive view of the city on one side, while on the other, across the island of Vido, it reaches all the way to the Albanian mountains. Within the fortress there is also the Church of St. George, which was built by the English in the ancient style. The church is extremely beautiful both inside and out, and the entrance is free. Due to its antiquity, beauty, and preservation, the city of Corfu was included in the list of UNESCO's World Cultural Heritage. The city of Corfu, as well as the entire island, have a special place in Serbian history, as the place where the Serbian army recovered during the most difficult period in exile.